What's going on, guys? Strac Views back with another reaction video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all are well. All my new viewers joining us today, welcome. Today we'll be reacting to the greatest country on earth, brought to us by Casually Explained. Original video link will be in the description down below. Let's jump right into this. And when I'm talking about the greatest country on earth, you see how it says that in the title? Greatest country on earth. When he says that, we're talking about Canada, baby. You know what I'm saying? Or at least better than where I'm at, for real. Because it's a lot going on, man.
Canada is the second largest country in the world by landmass, and despite having only 40 million people, it has a massively outsized global impact. Firstly, our flag is objectively the best humanity has come up with so far, and the only one that rivals us is when Japan powers up for 2 episodes and then sends their navy to commit war crimes. Secondly, ask any American to name one non-economic metric that America does better than Canada, and they'll say, what's a metric? Most importantly, America likes to brag they put man on the moon, but Canada put women in leggings. Welcome to the 21st century. Now, even though Canada is known as the Great White North, if you look at the demographics of Vancouver, I'm in fact a minority. Despite my oppression, I live in
Technically, was it the US that went to the moon first? Wasn't it France? Wasn't it France? I think they cut the footage or something. They did something with the footage. I think they faked it on the green screen. Man, ain't nobody been. Wait till they find out that they ain't been to the moon.
North, if you look at the demographics of Vancouver, I'm in fact a minority. Despite my oppression, I live in harmony with other people, and Canada is a melting pot of cultures. From the west coast to the east coast, you have an enormous diversity of people. To illustrate the point, here we have the newlywed and nearly dead, then we have gays and Asians, then it goes Timu, Texas, Earth is flat, definitely flat, milk in a bag, gays, lobsters, potatoes, leprechauns. All the other territories are climate change insurance. Although it has a lot of similarities, Canadian culture is distinctly different from the US. As an example, Canada doesn't have the NFL, NBA, or MLB. We just have the NHL, which stands for No Houses Left. While we've tried nothing to solve this, we just have the NHL, which stands for No Houses Left. While we've tried nothing to solve this, we're all out of ideas. Because us cool Canadians on the west coast who have pine trees and somewhat acceptable weather don't relate so much to everyone in the lame eastern provinces who have maple trees and funny accents, the Pacific Northwest has previously thrown around the idea of creating our own independent sovereign territory called Cascadia, which would mostly include British Columbia, Washington, and Oregon. The idea came about when we asked ourselves if an economy could be sustained purely by fishermen, lumberjacks, and pride parades. And while haters say that men shouldn't be in women's sports, no other country is ever beating us at Olympic drag. Sometimes English-speaking Canadians get a little sad because we don't have much in our culture that is distinctly Canadian and not influenced by the United States. But that's exactly the beauty of it. One of the best parts of being Canadian is traveling abroad, and when someone asks you, so where in the United States?
I already knew where he was from just because he had that in his hand. I already knew he not in the military, none of that. It's a U.S. citizen. Stretching his gun law rights. Yup, that's what they do. Walk up in the store with the Dracos and stuff, right in the convenience store, right there, the little gas station and stuff. Like I don't. What are you gonna do?
Being Canadian is traveling abroad, and when someone asks you, so where in the United States are you from? You get to experience the joy and relief on their face when you say you're from Canada. The fact of the matter is that Canadian and American...
For a second I thought that was American. That just threw me off. I'm not gonna lie, he just got me. What? That just got me. Okay. I really thought that wasn't okay. Oh. So maybe he's just going hunting or something. Yeah. We know he's a rifle gun owner. We know Canada don't play. Gun law is a little different, you know. You might go to jail for life.
And when someone asks you, so where in the United States are you from? You get to experience the joy and relief on their face when you say you're from Canada. The fact of the matter is that Canadian and American culture are deeply intertwined. You might be European and think,
You not Americans are all the same. You think life is only about working and making more money so you can consume more. Over here, we know what truly matters in life. 2 euro wine, 3 girlfriends.
Wait, whoa, 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 wait a minute.
One passport.
Easy to say when you have time off to protest for more time off, but this jab doesn't faze us Canadians. Americans work long hours, complain a lot, and make a lot of money, whereas Canadians work long hours. Similarly, the moment a Canadian goes to Europe and is like, wait, everything's closed from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and every Sunday? Every street is one way? Why does it look like they just tacked on traffic lights to 300-year-old cobblestone roads? Where's the street parking? Where are the highway systems to connect us to Costco? We then suddenly become aware there isn't a single IHOP, Tim Hortons, Denny's, or 24/7 drive-thru literally anywhere, and we realize this isn't work-life balance, this is some bullshit, and we stand with the Americans as our own brethren who especially do not tolerate being hungry under any circumstance.
Oh, no. Nah, that's one thing, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, as human beings, no. Even if I don't got nothing in the house, something should be available outdoors. I don't care what time it is. Absolutely not. I guess, dang, is that self-centered? Is that like, but we got bars, there's pubs, there's restaurants, diners that are open late, people that get off construction or work. The bars, they get home from the club, open 3 a.m. Waffle House. I'm hungry. I gotta go. I gotta eat. I can't go to bed hungry, guys. I can't. I can't. Keep it 100. There's way too many times I had to, and it's like it's to the point of it's like if I'm able to go get something to eat, I'm getting something to eat, guys. And I'm gonna be very, very grateful for that. Best believe that. Very, very grateful.
Stand with the Americans as our own brethren who especially do not tolerate being hungry under any circumstance. When you ask someone to think of things that are for real Canadian and not American at all, there are only a few things that come to mind.
I like that. I might buy one of those. I might buy one of these.
Moose, hockey, poutine, rush, Nanaland, the big comfy couch, Terrence and Phillip, Little Bear, Franklin, this cancer patient, both Ryans and Nelly Furtado, Nathan Fielder.
Wow. What? That was crazy. But now I'm thinking about it. Was he? Think about it. Caillou, when he was a kid, I used to ask, but why is he bald? I thought it was just part of the cartoon, but maybe Caillou did.
Little Bear, Franklin, this cancer patient, both Ryans and Nelly.
I mean, you had to say it like that, bro. You dead wrong, bro. I'm not laughing at that. It's just I'm laughing at him like he's just funny, man. Oh, he just has a way to say anything.
Tato, Nathan Fielder, the Trailer Park Boys, the Scourge of the Earth, and of course maple syrup. But what truly defines Canadian culture is how we measure things, as we're not just bilingual in both imperial and metric, but we also just make up measurements as we go along. People and objects are weighed in pounds, but not food. We measure that in grams and milliliters. We measure alcohol in mils and liters, but a bottle of gin is a 2/6 and a glass of wine is in ounces. A person's height is measured in feet and inches, and short distances are also in feet. But if something is at the end of the block, we'll tell you it's like 50 meters away. Only old people use yards and miles. But that's okay, because all of us take pride.
I wish an old person would be like, I asked you, where's the closest McDonald's? Closest McDonald's about 40 to about 40 yards. 40 yards? Bro, the only time I hear yards if like I'm hearing football talk or I'm watching a football game. Don't nobody say yards? I mean, you'd be prisoned for that, but yards?
And being able to poorly convert it to metric for you. Long distances are not measured in kilometers or miles, but are instead measured by the time it takes you to get there. All temperature is measured in Celsius because Fahrenheit just makes no sense at all. This excludes the oven. That should obviously be in Fahrenheit, as we all know Celsius only goes up to 100. A major difference between Canada and the US is our slang. For example, what do you call this? We call this pop, while you guys call it soda.
I was going to
You
guess.
call this a beanie, and we call it a toque. We would say this is a washroom, you would call this a restroom. We would call this an ambulance, while you call it filing for bankruptcy. We like to say that went
Ain't
from
that the
0 to
truth?
100.
Ain't that the truth? You know, I actually did a little research. Less and less people annually are actually dialing 911 for any emergency. And it seems that people are taking things into their own matters now. Isn't that scary? Isn't that scary? Like any situation.
Real quick, while you say 32 to 212. While Canadians are known for saying sorry a lot, it's not because we're apologizing at all. We use it for every situation an American would say, excuse me, pardon me, huh, or oops. Trying to move past someone in the way, that's a sorry. Bumped someone accidentally, that's a sorry. What did you say? That's a sorry. Spilled your own drink? That's a sorry. Wait, that was your land? That's a sorry. For some reason, Americans find our words for things cute and endearing, while we're annoyed because that's just how we talk. I thought Americans were just giving us the big brother treatment until one time an American came into the souvenir store I worked at when I was 18 and was like, help me out with your Monopoly money, I can't make sense of it. And while people still say that all the time about our fabulous and indestructible bills, he instead dropped a handful of coins onto the table and then was like, okay, this one's a nickel, this one's a dime, and this one's
I ain't gonna lie, the way he talking was crazy. You should have punked on his bills. You should have gypped a homeboy or something out one of his bills. Some. Talking crazy like that. What? Man, tell him to walk outside and come back through the door. Try it again.
quarter. We have the same sort of thing back home, but what on earth are these things? Okay, so that one's a loony. A what? Oh my gosh! Wow, what's that worth? A dollar. It's got a loon on it. It's like a duck sort of thing. That's why we call it a loon. Oh, I haven't seen that before. You Canadians really are something, aren't you? Okay, then what's this one worth? $2? What do you call this one? A double loony? And I was like, I don't want to tell you anymore. Anyway, before you ask, yes, we do throw them at strippers, and yes, they do die sometimes. If you've ever wondered why your girlfriend always has random bruises on her legs and she says she doesn't know how they got there, now you know. At the
Oh
end,
no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. You going through that right now? That's your fault. She can't even tell you how they got there. Well,
of the day, there's really only one way for Canada to be better than it is, which is if Air Canada were replaced by literally any other airline. Besides that, only a few suggestions have been worth considering, like when Trump threw around the idea of the United States becoming part of Canada. While this would increase the amount of provinces we have to 60, it would require some sacrifices. First of all, the force field we built on the
oh, that is crazy. Can we actually go visit this and like walk on it? How long did it take to just split this, cut all the trees down, and get it out the way? And what did they do so that, like, did they kill the roots or something? What did they do so that these trees can't grow anymore? What? I never seen a picture like this.
southern border would have been for nothing. Secondly, guns would be everywhere, particularly in my possession, causing a threat to general safety. While Americans would finally get universal healthcare, that would bankrupt us all. And while the little morsel of British education we still have in us would be cancelled out by the American education system, I'd finally be able to get a good brisket. All in all, not a bad trade-off for America to be run by Canadians from here on out. Now, if you're someone who's been threatening to move to Canada every 4 years if the guy you don't like gets in, you're cooked when I get in and there's nowhere to go. At least nowhere that's covered by your cell phone provider's roaming plan at a reasonable price, which is why today's sponsor Saley has you covered. $0 in roaming fees per day for most people.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
I
I see what you're doing. You paying the bills. This is a great video, man. I don't want to miss anything. I believe that's all, man. This is an amazing video, man. Checking out the greatest country ever, man. The greatest country on earth, known as Canada. Canada is one of the greatest countries. You know, there are plenty other, countries out there that I consider great as well. I guess it's debatable. Everybody can argue which one is number one, but there are just so many fascinating things about other countries, especially Canada, that truly, fascinate me, inspire me to learn more about the country and want to travel there someday and experience the differences, experience something different from what I'm experiencing over here, leaving the old, in the past, man. For real, leaving the dullness of this country and just like the atmosphere and certain things in the past and just traveling, getting out in that limelight and that sun, experiencing for the first time, trying things. I feel like it's to the point where I'm like so far on my journey where it's like at this point, if I go to Canada, I feel like I live there. I probably feel like I live there. Like I truly belong. Just because of how much I know, how much knowledge I have, retained from the videos and just the topics and everything, the comments, people educate me, and it's amazing, man. And I can't wait to actually, put that to use someday and travel, man, for real. Talk to my peoples. Everyone stay safe. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications on. Feel free to share some things in the comment section that you feel wasn't included in this fabulous video today. Original video link will be in the description. Feel free to follow my Twitch and Discord as well in the description. And I hope to catch you all in the next one.